All right. And I'm live. Hi, everyone. To everyone who's watching this, I don't know. I just thought I'd just jump on, have a bit of a drink. It is Sunday night, so got a bit of time to kill. Thought I'd jump on and ask and answer people's questions. If anyone has any questions, I'm still waiting on a few people to jump onto this. So for the people that are going to watch this later, I just thought I'd continue chatting. I am going to Greece later on in July, and the one thing that I wanted to focus on is the fact that since I am turning one of my commercial shops, I'm going to turn that into a studio apartment, kind of a loft apartment. I thought I'd just jump on and maybe have a chat about that process. I've had a few people ask me randomly throughout the week about how to sort of do that and what are the implications and what's involved and blah, blah, blah. And I am going to film that whole process. So I bought the shop last year in Thessaloniki, and I didn't touch it purposely because I wanted to go back this year and tackle it head on. I also told my people to not start doing stuff because I've had the plans came through about 2-3 months ago, and essentially the build was going to start. And I thought, no, I might just pause it for a bit until I get there in late July, early August, or late July rather, and start building or renovating, turning it into a studio apartment. So I can't wait to give you guys all that footage and just show you exactly what it is that I do and what I've been doing over the last few years with particular commercial real estate, in particular buying shops that are no longer running or haven't been running for a while, and then turning them into studio apartments and making rent out of them, making money out of them, actually, because that's where the real return investments are, the 12-13% return investments. But I thought I'd just jump on, have a chat with people, see where people are at. Hi, g'day. I'm across 3 different platforms. We've got YouTube, we've got TikTok and Instagram. I don't know which one's which, but yeah. So again, eyes are darting around as I try to figure this little situation out. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them at me. If I have anything that pops up in my mind, I'll talk about it. Don't mind the request I've pushed by accident. That's all. I don't even know what the request is, mate. I'll be honest. So many people keep requesting things to join, and I get scared that someone's going to show their nutsack on here and I'm going to get banned. So I don't accept anything. So don't worry about me worrying about the request. I don't even know what it is. But yeah, been looking at property in Athens recently. I want to join your video. No, I don't trust that. Maybe down the track. I've been looking at property for a client in Athens, and it's been interesting because I wanted to actually jump on and talk about this. I've probably mentioned this a few times in videos in the past. Man, it just anyway. So essentially, a client jumped on. He's like, "I want to buy in Athens, blah blah, this and that." It's like, cool. Start looking at properties, going through what areas, this and this, going through the whole thing. And I'm coming across these properties, which ironically enough, this client just sent me the list of properties, and I purposely avoided them. But I'm actually I've avoided them. Oh, we're doing the same. There you go. Come to me. Let's have a chat. I see these properties pop up, and I thought I'm going to push them to the side. I'm not going to send him those properties because I don't trust them for whatever reason. I've never really dealt with these sort of properties, so I thought these are the ones that I'm going to go for, and then we'll go from there. Now, ironically enough, the client was like, "Hey, here's a list of properties that I've found," which is what I do with my clients. I'm like, you do your search as well, and I'll do my search because obviously you know what you want. I think I know what you want, and together we make a beautiful Greek-born Greek baby of a property. There are so many issues to deal with. Yeah, with Spitogato or with like finding property in general. But Spitogato, yeah, it does my head in. But what I'm getting to is there's a few of these listings that are on there that'll say brand new this, pool, garage, parking, whatever it is. And all these photos seem to either be AI or just they're Photoshop. They're created photos. They're not real photos. With the real retail sites. Let me finish this point and we'll get onto that. And this is where I start to go, what's going on? Because if you've got because you can click on the listing, and I wish I had my phone. I don't have anything because I'm obviously operating off all of them. But on one of the things, it's, you go into it and it says brand new this, da 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 da. It's got all these things, blah blah blah. And then you go further down. You're like, when is it available? It's available now. Okay, so obviously it's built. If it's for sale, it's available now. It's built. And then you go through and you see the map and it shows you the pin drop. Now, obviously, never really actually take that into consideration, because a lot of the times they won't give you the exact location. But let's just say, for argument's sake, this is giving me an exact location, because it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't put these things. So I go to the pin drop, doesn't look anything like the photos, doesn't even look like a building. So I'm like, well, what are you selling? And that's where I get iffy, because photos generally 1 year old. The photos are more than 1 year old. The photos could be actually quite. No, you are, George. You are. the photos might actually be legit. They might actually be off a couple of months off. But and I really need to be showing you guys what I mean, because if you've got a brand new building, right, something that's completely brand new built, why would you not show photos of it finished? Why would you create the photos on whatever program it is that they create? I don't know if anyone's ever seen pamphlets or brochures of new buildings that that are building, and they're trying to sell off the plan or whatever. They show you, oh, this is what we think it's going to look like, and this is what, here's something that we created in Photoshop and whatever. Why do they have those photos? If you've got a brand new building and it's finished and it's available now, and you're selling it for the price that you're selling it at in the middle of Athens, show me the fucking photos. Show me the place. But also, don't then drop a pin drop to a random building that doesn't exist, that doesn't coincide with the photos that you've shown me. I'm seeing luscious grass with pools on the ground floor, and then I get on the map and I'm like, what's this brown fence? So I don't understand. So that's where I go, I start to get a little bit cautious, and I stayed away from those properties purposely. Now I'm going to get in touch with one of these agents this week just to see what they say, because I really think, here's the other thing. If it's such a brand new building and why would you not link to where it actually is? I understand that they don't want it to be sold. Like, if it's a whole new, it doesn't make sense, because, and I don't know if I'm just rambling here, but I'm trying to get my point across. Great real estate agents will a lot of the times not put the actual location of the property on the map. They'll give you a roundabout figure. They'll just say it's Parramatta, somewhere around, general vicinity within a couple of kilometers, because they're scared people in Greece will go up and go, oh, let's try and knock on someone's door. Everyone's neighbors. They all kind of know each other. It's Jimmy's, it's Maria's, it's his cousin's dogs. We'll be able to thingo, and then they cut out the real estate agents. With a building like this, it's obviously a brand new building. It's owned by a developer. Unless you know the developer personally, you're not getting to the developer. So then why not put the actual location up firstly? Because your photos don't match what you've put up. Secondly, why not put up the actual photos if it's finished? And if it's not finished, then why sell it as a finished product? That's what I don't get. That's why I don't throw it to my clients. But my client has gone, I'd like to look at these properties. Sure. It's my job. I'll make a call. I'll make a call. Knowing kind of full well what it is, I'll make a call, because I could actually be wrong. And if I am, I'm going to bang my head against this wall, because it just doesn't make sense why you would do that. I don't get it. Like, it makes for terrible business. Location is an issue. It is an issue with squatters, but it's not even about that. The location issues that they have, especially with the real estate agents, is the fact that they're scared that they're going to get cut out of the deal. That's all it is. That's all it comes down to for them. In fact, a lot of the time, if you go and look at a place, especially something that they're going to sell, first and foremost, they're going to start charging you €10 an hour for administration costs. But secondly, they're going to make you sign an agreement. They're going to take your ID, your identification, your passport, or whatever it is, and they're going to make you sign an agreement based on that if you are to purchase that property, it's going to go through them, so they don't get cut out. Then and only then, after you've signed, they're going, well, properties aren't exclusive. No, they are, but the agent that you take them to will push that deal. They'll say, if you're going to come on with me, it's only going to be with me. And they make the people who are looking at these properties sign an exclusive deal that they will purchase it off them if they are to purchase it. and it's their way of now whether that is legally binding, whether that can stand up in court or whatever, and blah blah blah, whether they even will take you down that path, I don't know. But I mean, they do make you at the end of the day, without signing that document, you won't really know where the property is because they're the ones with the keys in their hands. So you sign away and you're like, all right, fine. You pay €10 if you need to pay €10, and they take you to the property. And then from there, you can do whatever you want. But I understand that fear tactic when you're trying to sell Arthur's 100 square meter apartment in somewhere in Thessaloniki. But if it's a brand new building, we might have you might have 5 stories with 5 apartments on them, full story for each apartment. Or you might have 5 stories with 20 apartments in them, depending on how you build it. Why not? Why not put the location? What are you going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, I like that apartment. Where is it? Oh, it's over there. You know what? Move aside, real estate agent. I'm going to go toward the developer. It's not going to work, man. Like, I don't understand. But anyway, yet another thing that does my head in about great real estate. So I've been, looking at all these, and I got an email today. I was like, click, 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 click. I'm like, yeah, there's all the things that I purposely pushed to the side, but that's fine. The client wants it. That's what I'll do. It'll be an interesting time trying to get through those guys. Stay tuned. Any questions? Hey, what's going on with your situation with real estate? What were you saying, George? Where you go? What did you say? You said there are so many issues to deal with the real retail sites. Hey, first time viewer here, what do you look for in a guy? I don't. First time viewer, probably the last time, mate. I'll be honest. What's going on in Greece with real estate? A lot's going on in Greece with real estate. Heaps is going on in Greece with real estate. There's so much money to be made in Greece with real estate. Then now is the time to be buying. If you're not buying, now is the time to absolutely be buying. If you're looking to invest, because Greece is going to go through the roof. I've said it. I've been saying it. I've been seeing it. The facts are there. Look at them. Don't take my word for it. Do your research, as I said. But Greece is going up, and the Ellinikon building is probably the main culprit, to be honest. Now, so say if I'm looking at buying a house in Greece, what should I be looking for? What do you want to buy for? That's the first thing I want to. What's something that should influence a purchase? Depends what you want it for. Do you want it for investing, or do you want it for yourself, just to be able to have a place in Greece? So that's the first thing, because two very separate situations. So tell me what you want. What are you looking for? And I'll help guide you through this process. Because if you're looking for yourself, then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what you're looking for, because at the end of the day, your taste is different to his taste, to her taste, to their taste, to my grandma's taste, to my dog's taste, to my taste. So it's whatever you like. But if you're looking for an investment, well, then that changes the whole thing. Say if I was going to lease it out. Okay, cool. Now, again, lease it out how? Short-term or long-term? Are you going to do Airbnb, Booking.com, Trivago? Are you going to do long-term to an individual in Greece, to the actual people there? Love the interaction. Very good service. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. It depends, again, on what you want to do, whether you want to do short-term leasing or you want to do long-term leasing. And I say this because Athens in particular, Greece, but they've decided to do this in Athens as of October this year. You cannot lease your property out short-term for a year in certain areas in Athens. So if you're going to look at buying something for Airbnb or Booking.com, whatever it is, then I would say, well, do not look in those areas, because you're just going to get dicked. And also, possibly don't look anywhere around those areas, because after a year, who's to say they don't go, you know what, now we're spreading this across the board. Now, if you've got short-term investments in those areas, you can still operate. But if you don't, then not only is it probably not going to happen, but you run the risk of it not happening as well. I was looking at long-term perfectly. So then we go down the path of, well, how much do you have to spend, where, and I would say to you, do not get emotional with it. Don't sit there and expect, I want this on the beach and I want this and da 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 da. If you want to purely make money out of it and you don't care, then I probably wouldn't even keep you in Athens. I'd peel you out. Chalkidiki, Thessaloniki. I mean, to start off with, like Crete, some other islands, I can talk. Like, it just depends. It depends on sort of There are different little places, and again, it depends on the price. You don't really need. Are you in debt? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in debt. Yeah. Um, you don't really need to spend a lot of money to get into the real estate game there and start making a return on investment. I mean, I bought my first one with $40,000 Australian, 19 point whatever thousand euro. Um, and then that just took off from there. But I did a little bit of renovations to that, and that's just been making a lot of money ever since I bought it 7 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. And since then, I've been able to, buy more and more and more. So you're saying all over Greece, regardless of the area, as long as you invest in our potential benefits, yeah, may come by. It just depends. Again, it depends what. There are different ways. There are different things to approach it by. Someone's going nuts calling me debt boy, and I don't know why. I don't. It's just why am I a debt boy? Because I've taken out. Because I'm in debt to buy property. Um, Renovation is another thing to consider. Absolutely, because I I do buy things that are absolutely worthless, and you renovate them. Doesn't cost actually that much to renovate. Again, it depends. I've got a blueprint that works for me, and then they obviously they go up on the market price, they go up on the market value, and they start making money on the return as well. So they're paying themselves off over 8 to 10 years, plus the market value, the appreciation over those years, plus the income that you're making from the rent, which then also goes up over the last 10 years as well. So you're in debt to get rich, so you didn't work for it. How do you think I got into debt? They they don't just give out money. I don't. So to renovate, what's most I'd be looking at? Depends how long's a piece of string. Do you know what I mean? Like it depends on what you need renovating and where you are, whether it's a major city, where it's a village, whether it's an island, whether they can get the materials, how much the builder's going to like. It just depends on what it needs, man. It really depends on how big the property is, what you want to do to it, all that kind of stuff. So it depends. I mean, what's an average? I think they're looking at 80 euro a day on average labor there. So it plus materials, which isn't really that much. I think you can get a bathroom done for about €2,500, and we're talking kind of generic stuff. 2.5 to 3,500 euro. A little bit more. Look, again, it depends on who you're going with. Depends on what you're putting in there. It really just depends on everything. Um, hey, Nick fan, man, what's going on, brother? About $100 a square meter for a touch up, a square meter for a full redo. Yeah, there you go. But man, reach out to me, get in touch, and let's have a chat. Because I can definitely guide you in the right direction. I can even show you what I've done, which I mean I will. I'm there in July, and I'll absolutely show you guys everything that I've done and the renovations and sort of go through the prices and whatnot. Like I think I'm looking at about realistically, I bought a shop for about 26,000 euro, I think it was last year, and it's going to probably I'm going to sink another 12 into it, more or less, to just build the loft and do all that kind of stuff. There's no place I should be looking at specifically. Again, it depends on what you want. At the end of the day, you can look at the areas and see what they're making on rent. Like see how much money you've got, and then just real estate is definitely thriving in Greece, man. Yeah, it really is, especially with the Hellenic one that's driving things through the roof as well. It's an 8 billion euro project. It's the first of its kind in Europe. It's a city, man. It's nuts. So, and it's those areas in particular have just gone up, thriving. So, with regards to making money there, it just depends on how much you want to spend, how much you've got to spend, and what you can do with that kind of money. But there's a rental crisis there at the moment, driven by the short-term rentals. So, is that because of the decrease of housing? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's because that's why all these short-term rental bans have come in, especially in Athens, because there's a decrease, because people are just trying to make money off Airbnb, Booking.com, all the short term. So these things, they're not being leased out, and it's driven the market up. Well, get in touch with me, brother. We'll have a chat. Mental crisis. Okay. Hey, Nick fan, sound more like a cuck. It's also good to go to the relevant location and see what's around. You don't want to be driving in Greece. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the sense of timeless. How can I get in touch? Buyinggreece.com.au or hit me up. DM me on any of the socials at Buy in Greece, or go to Nick Fan. Nick Fan seems to have a lot of comments, so he knows better because I don't know, he seems to be in love with me right now. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. That boy, that boy, that boy. He's fucking nuts. Sunday night, dude, go get laid. What are you doing? But yeah, get in touch with me, man, and we'll have a proper chat. That's all I can say. Let me know what you want to do and what you want to spend and where you're sort of looking at and exactly what your situation is, and we can have a proper chat away from Loki and Nick Fan. But yeah, do it. I mean, or don't do it. I don't know. You can listen to the haters who are sitting here on watching random people talk on Instagram at 9:30 on a Sunday night because they've got nothing better to do. I don't know. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be, I'm selling, you have a buyer looking for Kalamata property. Yeah, I possibly do. Yeah. Get in touch. Get in touch. Or go to Nick Fan. He knows way more than me. So he's obviously doing this. So he knows. So go to Nick Fan. He would definitely have a lot more, I don't know, probably information on how to be a cuck. So it's also good to go to a relevant location and see what's around. You don't want to be driving in Greece. Yeah, that's a whole good point as well, man. It just depends on what you want, really. Everyone's situation is different, and money is money. If the facts add up and people are doing it, then it's obviously working for different people. Do you know what I mean? But again, buyinggrace.com.au is a website. Hit me up on the socials at Buying Grace. Chat to me that way. We can have a conversation. I'm in debt, so don't listen to me. Listen to Nick Fan, who knows more. It's so funny. Nick Fan has 3 followers. Yeah, Nick Fan's he's a bot, man. I love it. This really blows my mind when you get on live and you get all these nutbags that just come out of anywhere and just want to tear you down, destroy you. It's so fun. I love it. It's crazy. But yeah, is there any other questions? Does anyone have any other input? Nick Fan, I know obviously you know better, and I'm an idiot and I'm in debt and whatever. Is there anyone that actually has any kind of debt boy? Sorry, debt boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it, really. It's so fucking strange. But what I was going to say is, in July, I'm there, and I am planning on filming the whole renovation of the thing. And basically, what I've done is I've bought a commercial place. George Deanstar. So, what was your name again? Sorry, mate. My name's Arthur. Arthur. Athanasios, whatever you want to call me. But Arthur. Arthur Jamalidis. If Debt Boy and Nick Fan and Loki want to find me, come look at mate. Who's listening to this guy? You are. You're listening to this guy. You idiot. This is amazing. Sunday night entertainment, guys. What's going on? Anyway, but Nick knows more. You're right. Anyway, let's get back to business because this guy's doing my head in. I possibly do you reckon we can see what renos are like? Yeah, that's what I was going to say, and how to find good workers. So this is exactly what I've been hanging on to do. So in July, I'm going to go there and film this renovation that I've done. It's, I've done a few of them in the past, but obviously I didn't have this business set up, so I didn't record anything, and I can show you guys photos, but photos are going to do nothing. So I will be filming it and showing you guys when I'm there how it's done, and I think the renos are going to take about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, more or less. No, I don't want to invite that person, especially the daily pace and nothing getting done. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. How to find reliable workers. Look, it depends, man. At the end of the day, you've got to actually, just knock on the door and just take Nick with you, bro. Teach him how to paint a wall. Yeah, Nick's a reliable worker. Look, again, with workers, man, you just got to, you got to take your chance and see what happens. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I've managed to find a builder that works for me. I've had him for almost 10 years. My parents started with him, and now he's obviously doing my stuff. And doesn't, run the budget on me and gives me fair prices. In fact, I remember having because he's Albanian actually. He's a neighbor of ours, and I actually went to a Greek who charged me €8,000 more just for labor. And then this guy was like, no, it doesn't cost that much. Well, we can get it done for this much. And then from there on, it took off, and I just started using him for everything. But yeah, again, you're gonna try. You might get people like Nick who come on board and obviously do nothing with work and just sit on TikTok and complain about random people and try and get money. So it just depends on what you want to do. You got to take a chance with everything, man. That's it. Athens with Thessaloniki. Well, yeah, I mean, I look, all my investments are in Thessaloniki because that's where I was born. That's where I've grown up. That's where my family is. That's where I go back and forth each year. But I actually really enjoy Athens, man. I think Athens is beautiful, and there's a lot to do in Athens. There's a lot of things thriving in Athens. Honestly, I reckon Omonia, man, Omonia is going to take off as well at some stage because that is so close to the city, and it's still technically considered a whole. Nick lives there, but it's still like, and it will pick up, not when Nick's there, because he's obviously running his ass on the corner. But the thing is, once he's done, eventually in 20 years' time, it'll probably pick up as well, and it's going to be, you could pick it up for peanuts, which is a week's pay for Nick. But like you can pick it up very cheaply, and then eventually they're going to go up through the roof. Not while Nick's there, because whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Just to plug, reach out to me for Aussie Tradie. Thank you, George. I will. Leave Nick alone. Nah, Nick, I can't leave Nick alone. He started it, man. He started it. What can I do? Nick's got a fish and chips there, bro. No, the only thing fishy is Nick's arsehole after the work is done on the corner of Omonia. But that's... I mean, if you can't take it, man, what can I say? I mean, he's taking it, but like, you know what I mean? On here, he can't take it, but he can obviously take it. He's paying for it as well. Not a lot. It is Europe. It's Greece. More like an hour. Man, you're good value, Nick. I love it. Thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate it. I do love this banter. I love the humor that people throw at me. It's actually quite cool because it means that someone's listening, someone's caring. I'm bringing some kind of joy to someone's life. Obviously, Nick needs it more than anyone else at the moment. He's about to jump off the West, go to wherever he lives. I don't know. But, and Nick, don't do it. We love you. We need you around here. But yeah, if you do want to get in touch with me, buyinggrace.com.au. Buying Grace is obviously all over the socials, Spotify, YouTube, which some of you are watching at the moment, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. I am in Greece in July. I'm going to be around Athens. I am going to the Ellinikon building. I've actually got a meeting with the people there for one of my clients as well. I am becoming affiliate. Well, hopefully becoming an affiliate with them to go through the process there. And I'm looking at property pretty much all over there. Maybe for myself as well. I actually really want to go to Zakynthos because I really want to buy property for myself there. But if you need a hand with anything, or if you want to reach out, you want some questions answered, let me know. I do try and do weekly videos as well. It's gotten a little bit crazy at the moment, but I am going to dump one down. And sorry, I just patting my little sausage dog right here. Here's a little, come here. There he is. Bye-bye. I'm going to end that very soon, but hang on. Who's even listening to this guy? Nick, you are. Enough, man. Enough. I don't know why, but what else is I going to say? He's doing good though. He has thrown me a bit, This guy's in debt. Yeah, I am. He has thrown me a bit, which is interesting. But that's the other thing. I just want to. I really want to take you guys through the renovation stages and show you what is achievable with the amount of money that I'm throwing in there. You don't really need to dump hundreds of thousands of dollars or euro to actually get into the property game in Greece. You really don't. It's not like Australia or like America or England or anything like that. With the amount of a deposit for Australian dollars, you can actually just get into the buying game over there and start making some money. It's not going to be amazing money, but it is going to be money nonetheless. Nick must be an expert builder. Yeah. I'm done with Nick. It's fine. He's obviously got issues in life. So, Nick, what do you do? Let's talk about it. What do you do? If I don't know what I'm talking about, then what makes you an expert in that? Oh, he's gone silent. So, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Fan and Loki and whoever else was there. If you want real estate expert advice from those people, go nuts, go find them. They'll be able to a Turkish kebab shop. Anyway, enjoy your Sunday night, except for Nick. He's about to go out the corner and start working for some money. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.